The main purpose of Mecanim was to mechanize games animation development. Mecanim tried to separate developers from animators' work. At the beginning, handling code was separated from an animation controller asset. The idea was animator to create parameters and use them as animation transition condition, and the developer to control them from code. This introduced several issues. If we check standard assets third-person character script, we'll see that handling Mecanim through code is quite complex, because developer need to check if current state is this state and not in that state, or in transition in some state, totally breaking finite state machine feel of Mecanim. And on top of that, when interrupt source option is used, even gives more player responsiveness, handling became more difficult when we should be aware of order of interruption. From animator side, condition can be very complex and easily come to need condition creation to be synced with developer, making additional bound we want to avoid. In order we make general condition, animator can use triggers or bools as flags to some extent, but both need to be accessed and resetted through animator set trigger hardcode binding. Logic Forge use Unity events instead of a transition condition. They are decoupling animation and logic system, so animator just sets event without worrying where, when, or what condition will cause event to happen. Testing is also simplified to one-click transition. Transitions in Mecanim are, let's say, linear. Most of the motions in the world are non-linear, so Logic Forge Playable can use curves to create more natural animation. In Mecanim you can't override blend trees, and when you are overriding clips you cannot alter the transition settings. By using state machine behaviors into animation controller asset, you bound logic to single entity, losing the asset multi-use purpose. Logic Forge separates functional data in three assets: state machine asset, blueprint of states, no logic, no motion, no transition settings. It can be assigned to many entities. Logic asset, visual representation of functionality, can be included, excluded, or can function outside state machine. When added to game object, it will implement real components according to blueprint, or can be used to override logic. Motion setting asset containing motions and transition settings you can use to override current settings. Let's play. Playables still lack of layers and avatar masks, but even now they give you a lot of freedom in procedural animation generation.